What's up? Welcome to the live stream. This is going to be a different kind of live stream than I usually do. I'll explain it for the first 30 seconds while we wait for some folks to make their way in. But this is going to be treated as if it is a regular video on the channel. So I'm going to be unboxing some records, and I'm going to be showing off my haul from Amoeba and some other stores I went to in Northern California, and then we are ending the live stream. I'm trying to get this to be somewhere between 15-20 minutes. I want to see if those perform long-term on the channel better than my hour-long live streams. So this is experimental. I won't be able to answer as many questions as usual, but I figured some people would like to be in here and it could be fun. So different live stream today. If you have a burning question for me and you super chat me, I will still answer it in the midst of this stream. But otherwise, let's get started with the unboxing and then the vinyl haul, and we'll go from there. Thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's get it. All right. So the first record is going to be one from Enjoy the Ride, as I just mangle this mailer. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. I tried to even do it the other way, and it's still... And of course it just pulls perfectly now. What a nightmare. All right. So, unfortunately, the mail destroyed my first copy of this, but ETR was cool enough to replace it. Very excited. This is the second album by Out of Service, The Ground Beneath Me. Really good, kind of like emo-ish, alt-rock, kind of like, you know, that era of rock that was coming out in the mid-2000s that was a little heavier, a little, you know, not quite pop-punk, but they definitely capture that vibe very nicely. I actually just gave a copy of this away at the record store as part of a promotion that they were doing, which was pretty cool. Really excited to spin this, and I believe the variant's kind of cool, so let's do a little shrink opening, and let's see what it looks like. They get a lot of comparisons to musically, not as people, to Brand New, which I think is fairly apt. All right, so it is. Oh yeah, this is dope. This is so cool. All right, look at this variant. So lots of heavy black on this side, but I'm loving these kind of like red and white tinges. And then the other side, whoop. Really cool kind of reddish exposure on that. I love variants like this that kind of just look like a paint. What is the word I'm looking for? The paint palette? It's a palette, right? Yeah. So excited to give this a spin. I haven't heard the whole record yet because I've been waiting for the record to come in. So this is going to be something I'm very much looking forward to. Now this next one, this is a big boy. And this is actually a record I've been looking forward to for quite some time. It is also, outside of Benoit Hall, I think this might be the most I have ever spent on a single record. And I did that because once you see what it is, all of this artist's releases tend to go for 3 to 4 times retail eventually. And oftentimes retail is already truly insane for his stuff. I've talked about this artist before, and I've shamed his I've shamed him for what he charges, but this is an incredible record, and I knew if I didn't jump on it now, I would probably regret it. And I knew that if I ever wanted to or needed to trade or sell it, there's a 0% chance that it would be less valuable than when I bought it. So it was kind of like it was an informed purchase while also being an irresponsible purchase. But let's see if it lives up to the hype from the description. Does anybody have any idea what this is based on me just talking about it? Ooh, it's a hefty boy, a big old whiplash inside of the big box. They're really treating this like this is like national treasure over here. This is the Declaration of Independence or something. You know what, my man Nick is too smart. Nick, you're good at what you do, my man. You get it. So Nick is accurate. Let's see. All right, another bag. We got a bag inside a box inside a box. All right, let's look at this thing. I've been so excited to see what this actually looks like based on the description of it. I was very confused. It was a pretty luxurious description. All right. What do we? Let's see what. For the record, I believe this cost $333. I think, and you're gonna like, you're gonna be like, you're an idiot. But I believe there are copies already selling for triple that. If I've seen correctly, I might have mistaken it. So there's like books. This is Mach-Homme's HBO, which originally was pressed as like I think it was like a lathe cut that was super limited and people lost their minds. And then they did like a special anniversary thing with a couple different variants that all sold out extremely quickly despite being hundreds of dollars each. So first of all, I don't use felt slip mats, but this is a really pretty, I really enjoy this. It's kind of like, it has like this gold kind of tinge to it, like little what am I talking about? Little like sparkles or glitter. Really pretty slip mat. I would actually probably like display this. I think this art is really cool. So that was cool. And then we have these two things. Let's see what we got. So this bottom one is this red kind of, oh, there's things falling out of it. A red book with all kinds of stuff in it. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is his handwriting or if this is it. It doesn't look like it's in English. This is, I gotta look back at the description of what the heck this is. That there's like a it's like one of those old like mail order catalog type things. I don't know what this is. But okay, so this is like some kind of picture book, which is cool. Lots of interesting photos, I guess from the HBO art sessions. Pretty cool. Nice little addition. Do I need an art book? No. If an art book enhances the price, not really something that I'm super excited about. But there weren't a lot of options for this that weren't like massively overpriced, so you kind of have to go with what you go for. I will say, if you guys don't know Mach-Homme, he's one of the best underground rappers right now. I'd say him and Benny the Butcher are running circles around everybody, including Westside Gun and Conway. But everything that Mach does is pretty fantastic, and this is one of his better projects. I think my favorite is Tous les Tous. I can't pronounce it. But first of all, you guys know, if you guys have been watching this channel for years, you know I love a thick spine. I'm a big, thick spine guy. And look at this. This is one of the nicest looking spines I've ever seen on a record. It is just so that I love the font, the typeface. I love how thick it is. This is beautiful. So on the back we got track list, and inside they packaged this shockingly well, which I guess they had to for the price. But we got this pink with white splatter as the colors, which is really cool. And also, it is numbered out of 187 as a strange number to number it out of. So I am 139 out of 187. I'll probably spin these later tonight or tomorrow just to make sure there's nothing, like, there's no damage, because I think that I would be devastated if I found out this had like some kind of defect and I figured it out like 6 months later. Yeah, this is really cool. I'm excited. I gotta say, you know, obviously the price is absolutely ridiculous for anyone else but Mach. I think that I would laugh, but for Mach in particular, he has built this aesthetic around overpricing his own art, which I think, you know, because it keeps selling out, you can't really fault him, right? Like, this is something that, whether or not you agree with it, it's working. It could be looked at as exploitive for the fans, but I don't know. I don't think I would have paid that much for a random Mach album, but this is, like I said, probably his top 2 records he's put out. So excited to dive into that. Let's move on. If you haven't hit the like button yet, hit the like button. It was not on Dope. This was on, I think, his site. All right, so this next one we got here looks like it's from overseas. From France, it looks like. What have we here? Oh. This is another Another lo-fi compilation from Chill Hop Lo-Fi folks with the classic girl that we all know. This is Soothing Breeze. It's getting to the point where like I'm just getting these because I like lo-fi, but it's almost there's too many coming out. You can't have that many. Like you can't. It doesn't keep your interest for that long. I don't know how you can just continuously get these comps over and over and over again. But I keep doing it like a dum-dum, and this one's limited to 5,000. Not that limited. I think it's still sold out though. I think, but yeah. I guess they're always good to have. People are always going to want them, and down the road, maybe they'll be worth a lot of money. And like, you know, if you want to sell it like in a year or two from now, who knows? It is what it is. And one more here. I think this is going to be another obscure one. I promise you, my vinyl haul from Northern California won't be as obscure, maybe a little bit, but we'll get into it. All right. So this is, this is my order from Geometric Lullaby, which is one of my top vaporwave labels. And finally, we're getting some Telepath records pressed on vinyl, which is very exciting. This one's amazing. This one's very, very good as well. No one is pressing my favorite vaporwave record yet, which is Mysterious Lover by Telepath. The first track is my favorite ambient song of all time. Ambient slush wave, whatever you want to call it. And I'm hoping that someone actually presses it and it happens. I would pay crazy money for that. But really happy. Telepath is my favorite top 5 ambient artists of all time. Probably my favorite vaporwave artist, up there with Cat Corp. So excited that these are finally here on vinyl. Very cool. Let's get more Telepath stuff ASAP. All right, we're at 11 minutes 54 seconds. Good. We're kind of I got derailed by the HBO stuff, but let's talk about my haul from I was in Northern California recently for a wedding, and I was able to spend a whole day record shopping with my man Steven Campos. Shout out to Steven. He's the one that designed the TMR store shirt with the rose and the record. He's such a good artist. Make sure you check out his Instagram, and he lives in the area. So we went around to we went to Amoeba Berkeley, we went to Rasputin in Berkeley, we went to 1234 Go Records, and then we went to Amoeba San Francisco. And I got to be real with you guys, as you know, I'm like the biggest Amoeba fanboy ever. Hollywood's my favorite store in the world. Berkeley is an incredible store. I've always found good things at. Amoeba San Francisco, kind of whack. Every year it seems to get weirder and weirder. Their wall records are like priced well above Discogs. Like the bins seem like there's tons of bootlegs. It's just something's very strange about that location. Not a big fan, but Hollywood and Berkeley, 10 out of 10. So this is a combination. I didn't get one record at Amoeba San Francisco. That goes to show you how weird it's been. But they were protected. They made it back in the Tucker and Bloom case that I've talked about a billion times. This is the best record carrying bag that I've found. It's stylish, it's comfortable. I'm not being paid to say this. I just love this bag. All right, so let's talk about what I found, and we'll go from there. I actually grabbed this one. A couple of these I grabbed to put in the store. Most of them I think are for me. But this is one I grabbed for the store because you never see this, and it was just sitting at Rasputin. This is a really, really good down-tempo electronic record by a band called AIM. This is Hinterland. If you like down-tempo electronic, what year did this come out? Like 2005? 2002. This is a very, very solid record. I mean, if you're into like, 07 and kind of that era of down-tempo, AIM is terrific, so definitely check this out. I was shocked to see it. I believe it's out of print. I'm probably going to throw it up in the store because I have a copy myself, and I just thought this would be a cool thing for someone to find at the store. Hey, Tyler with the first super chat. Thanks, man. You're at work, you wanted to pop in, show your support. You'll watch this all later on. You hope everyone has a safe and amazing 4th of July weekend. I echo that sentiment. So thank you, Tyler, the super chat king. Much appreciated supporting the channel in that way. Let's keep going. I found this for very cheap at Rasputin too. This was $10. This is Converge Axe to Fall, kind of like a hardcore, post-hardcore-ish band. I looked at the disc and there's very light scratch. First of all, it's the brown marble. There's very light scratches on it, but I feel like they'll play through especially because it's like a heavier record. I'm gonna give it a spin in the degritter and see how it sounds afterwards. But $10 for this is a pretty crazy deal. Rasputin Berkeley really surprised me with some of their prices. I was like really taken aback by how generously priced a lot of the records were. So this is one I do not know anything about, but I was suckered in by the Obi strip because I am a simple man and I see Japanese writing on an Obi strip and I get excited. So this is Morgan Fisher Seasons. It's some sort of electronic record, but the first song is a cover of Time of the Season by the Zombies, and I listened on my phone. It's super interesting. It's like an electronic cover of it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this one a shot for $13 with the Obi strip. I went on Discogs, and I don't think there were any for sale for any reasonable price. So if anyone knows anything about this record, I'm happy to hear about it. But I don't know if they're all covers. I think a lot of them are. Yeah, there's the Hendrix cover. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but very intrigued to give it a listen. For $13, why not? This is another interesting one I found at Amoeba Berkeley. This is, I'm never going to pronounce his name right. It's just not going to happen. The Benoit Poulard? Man, I wish I could say things. This is the Benoit Poulard Listening Matter. So the Benoit is an excellent experimental ambient artist. He has a huge catalog. He's collaborated with a lot of people in the ambient world. But this album is interesting in particular because it's almost like an ambient folk record. So there's a lot of ambient elements to the progressions and to the sonics on the album, but there's a lot of folky elements to it too, which for me, I love anything folktronica, whether it's very in your face and layered and textured, or if it's very simple and sparse. And this is definitely a little more on the sparse side, but definitely an interesting listen. I've never seen this in a store before. It's a cranky release, and it was only $13. So excited. Okay, so Poulard. Thank you, Ryan. Poulard. Benoit Poulard. What a cool name. So the Benoit Poulard Listening Matter. Check it out. It's a good album. So this is another one that's it's kind of hard to find. Science fiction walls don't exist. It's kind of like experimental hip hop, I believe. You know what? I bought this because I remember looking up this artist, and this artist actually has another project that is under a different name than science fiction, and now I'm forgetting exactly what this sounds like. I think it's hip hop. I'm 90% sure, but it was $5, which I thought was really reasonable. And I pulled out the discs, and they were all very clean. This is something that I was like, for $5. I remember I once upon a time was looking at this on Discogs, trying to learn more about who this person was. So I bought it. It's either electronic or hip hop, but I think it's hip hop. Yeah. Anyway, $5. I don't have much to say about it, but I'm excited to hear it for $5. Good deal. So this is a cool one. This is one I had in the store that was a little scratched, and I ended up selling it. But I was surprised by this because I didn't know anything about this artist. It's a Beautiful Day. To me, when I saw this in a collection, I had just arrogantly assumed that it was some like easy listening, $1 record. But I put it on, and it was actually like a really, really cool psychedelic album from '72. So this is one of the definitive "you cannot judge a book by its cover" situations, because this is something I would have just assumed was just kind of like BS, and it's actually a really pretty record. So this is a UK import. The sleeve is really thin, but it was really clean. It was $10. So I think I sold mine in the store for 15 or 20. But yeah, excited to give this a deeper listen. I only heard the first few tracks, and I really enjoyed what I heard. But if you like psych from the 70s, check it out. This is one that I think is probably missing an Obi strip, but I grabbed it because I was excited to see it. You rarely see a lot of Ryuichi Sakamoto's things in a store, from my experience. An amazing experimental electronic ambient artist. This is Coda. This is a Japanese pressing, which is cool. Again, no Obi strip on this one, unfortunately, but it was pretty affordable. I think it was like $20. And I think he's so extremely talented. He's done a lot of soundtrack work. He's done a lot of collaborations with other electronic artists. And when I see his name, if it's affordable, I'll probably buy it just because I feel like it's always worth a listen at the very least, even if it's not necessarily something that I would like, it would resonate with me. But yeah, definitely was vibing with this for sure. So I owned a copy of this a while ago, and the copy I bought was on Discogs, and it was literally the whole front of it was covered in signatures, which it looked like it was more than just the band. It looked like the crew from the tour had signed it too. It was just very chaotic, and it's an out of print record that's pretty hard to find. So I ended up selling it because the cover was just like, it wasn't charming like a signed cover. It was almost like overwhelming. So I found a copy. It was like $25, and this is certainly out of print. This is an album called The Best Party Ever by The Boy Least Likely To, which is an indie act that I got into back in high school. This came out in 2000 and I don't know, maybe 2003? Does that sound right? I don't see a year. Anyway, it's like twee indie pop, really kind of like if you like Belle and Sebastian, kind of similar vibes to that. Really, really good album, and it hasn't had a repress since it went out of print many years ago. So, was really excited to find this. It's super clean, much prettier to look at than the copy I had prior. So that was cool. That was a moment where I was flipping through the bin and I was like, oh, like you have that moment where you're like, wow, I didn't expect to see that, which is like what drives us as vinyl fans, right? So this one was interesting too. So I have a copy of this in my store on my back wall that is an original, not original, but I think early UK pressing. And it's pretty clean, and I have it for a lot of money because it goes for even more than that. But this right here was in the bin. This is the classic Love Forever Changes. This is an original Monarch pressing, which I believe is a US pressing, not a UK pressing. But original Monarchs in good condition still go for a lot of money. This was $20 and it says scratched. But I pulled it out and the scratches all seemed really surface level. Like there are scratches, but they seem very light. Nothing like really deep. So I'm going to give it a nice degrit. And I am going to give it a listen because there's a chance that maybe this was way underpriced and undergraded. Because it looks okay. I mean, it might have a little bit of surface noise, but I don't think it's going to be too distracting. So, yeah, excited to, this will be my I don't have a personal copy of this yet. So maybe if this sounds good, I'll keep this because I do have one, like I said, in the store that is not sold yet. Maybe I have it too. Maybe it's overpriced. Maybe I'll have to drop the price on it. We'll see. All right, this was a hugely surprising find, and when you see a green tag at Amoeba, it usually means it's been sitting there for a long time, which is always exciting because sometimes it's records out of print. So she has gotten immensely famous, especially since Hadestown came out, but this is Anais Mitchell and Jefferson Hamer Child Ballads. I believe this is out of print. When I posted this on Instagram, I posted my stack of records. Someone, she messaged me on Instagram and she was like, is that Child Ballads? And I was like, because she could tell from the spine. And she was like, I've been looking for that forever. And it was only $11.99, which I think is a huge misprice. I don't know this record, but I've become a pretty big fan of pretty much anything Anais Mitchell does. I think she's extremely talented, and for $12 when I saw that it was like out of print, I was like, this is a no-brainer. I definitely have to grab this, which was cool. So I don't know anything about it musically, but she's very talented, and I'm sure it's going to be at least pretty cool. This was another surprising bin find. This is a very hyped group now called Microwave, and this is Stovall. Lots of variants, but when I went to look on Discogs for this, there were none for sale across any of the variants, which is crazy. Very sought after. A lot of people also are comparing them musically to like Brand New a little bit. But people are kind of raving about this band, and I've never really given them a fair chance. And the fact that like I saw it in the bin and it was like I think $40, which I'm assuming is a great deal for this because like there were none for sale, which is very rare. It's this white or it's like a cloudy clear with blue on the inside, which was cool. Excited to give it a listen. If I don't like it, I'll put it in the store, but I think I will, based on how people talk about this band and how the comparisons that it draws. So excited to listen to this. It's a Side One Dummy Records 2015 release, so this is pretty cool. This is one that I did not buy on Tiger Blood tapes yet. I was planning on it, and then I happened to find it serendipitously in a bin at 1234 Go. I think somebody traded in a video game vinyl and vaporwave collection because they had a couple interesting titles in there. This was one of them. This is New World, which is a classic vaporwave album back in the day. It came out. I forget the year, but it was like probably 2016 or so, and it finally got a vinyl pressing by Tiger Blood, and the original variant of it was sold out. They have 2 other variants they put up, but this was the original variant, and it was $25, which is crazy because I think it was $30 before shipping from the label. So was really excited to get this. This is one of those albums that I remember I had the cassette for back in the day, and I always wanted to have a vinyl pressing of it, and now I do, which is cool. Always cool to find stuff like that at a store. It's very unexpected. And then we got one more record in here that I was really excited about personally. This is Journey live in Houston 1981 Escape Tour album. This is Journey in their absolute sweet spot. This is like the best time. This is when I would have loved to have seen Journey. It's the red and white vinyl variant, which is very cool as well, and it was only $30, which is also a great price. I mean, Steve Perry, I've said this before, is arguably my favorite vocalist of all time. Top 5, top 3 without question. But this whole like list of songs is so good. I mean, you got Lights, you got Open Arms, you got Mother Father, Who's Crying Now, and then side C opens with Don't Stop Believin' into Stone in Love. Stone in Love is the best Journey song, in my opinion. Then we got Wheel in the Sky, Anyway, or Love and Touch and Squeezin', Any Way You Want It, The Party's Over. Like, all of these songs, this is going to be an amazing listen. Journey was one of my favorite bands in high school. I saw them live, unfortunately without Steve Perry for obvious reasons. But I think this is going to be amazing. I've heard this sounds really good. I was reading some reviews about the record. I actually saw someone, I think it was Melinda, who was talking about it on either Instagram or her YouTube, saying that this sounded really, really good. So when I saw it and it was the variant for only $30, I was like, yeah, this is the move for sure. So I would say I had a very good experience shopping in Northern California. I found some gems without a doubt. So yeah, that was my vinyl haul, and yeah, that was cool. So I unfortunately I'm going to end this right now because I want this to be treated more like a regular video than an hour-long live stream. It went longer than I thought it would, but that's because I just had too much to talk about. But I will do another live stream at some point. That'll be more conversational, more Q&A. Got some really cool stuff planned for the channel. Just trying to dot the I's and cross the T's on it. But there's something really fun in the works that's going to help me sell records to you guys in a really interesting way from the store that I think you're all going to appreciate, especially those of you who are in here right now. So look forward to that, hopefully next week with the announcement. Otherwise, stay tuned. I'll be at the store, Wednesday, today through Sunday. So if you're local, stop by. And yeah, that sounds good. Thank you guys for joining.